Hi Pooja.
Hi Shweta.
Yeah, Pooja, are you ready for the interview today?
Yes, Shweta.
What are the topics?
I'm going to give on module design and input of data, employee and non-employee, and
Nana plan 6 to 10 lessons, right?
yeah, Shweta.
Do you have any PPTs?
Yes, Shweta. I'm going to present in PPT.
You please share your screen and carry on.
Yeah, Shweta.
Yeah, I can see your screen, Pooja.
Yeah, Shweta.
Carry on.
Good afternoon, Shweta. I'm going to present this Anaplan, next few 5 lessons. And
Okay.
these are the contents I'm going to present today, like modules importing into data, revenue and margin, price growth module, and employee and non-employee expenses.
Okay, carry on, Pooja.
And I have made a few questions from these 5 lessons that I'm going to present today regarding this one questions. First is like modules. In this, we have some few key components of Anaplan module that can be used in multi-dimensionality, and the data which can display in the grid format that will be similar to the spreadsheet of Excel. And we have different differences in modules that can be hold 2 dimensions, and we can say that this module can work together to form and model. And uh, and in this we can build a module with dimensions such as time, version, and lists. These are the things we can use in the modules, and we can build a module by adding some data to it, and to design a model in the Anaplan. So next is steps to create a module. These are the steps. Initially we have to create a module. First is select modules in the model setting bar, and we have to insert module. Then we have to give a name for that module, and we have to type the line items in the box. It must suit for that module, and we have to give a reference to it. And by clicking OK, it will create a module. Then next is grid view. In this grid view, we can see the grid view has a default view for a module that will be presented as shown in the below image, like in the grid format as in Excel worksheet. Next is a grid view is initially displays the data in the layout created on the new module screen, but the layout cannot be changed later. Like once if we set the dimensions in the pivot table, exactly it will be displayed in the exact format. If we need to change any dimensions or layout, we have to pivot it first, and then we have to save the module, then the layout will be changed. And in this one grid view, we can insert dimensions, list, and line items included as shown in the below image. In this, we have a row, column, and page selector. By giving those dimension as a page selector, we can select as a location or product, any particular thing to display the data in the module. Next is blueprint view. This blueprint view works on after adding a line item. If we need any changing the format, or adding formulas to give a reference, or summary method. In this way, we can have so many types to differentiate the module by giving a outer look of in UX page or classic dashboard. Like mainly we will use this blueprint view for adding a formula like calculation purpose, and to give an summary method, or to change the time scale or version. In this way, like we can give like many things to change the module layout in the blueprint view. As below shown image, we can see the like a few things that has mentioned here, like line items, formula, summary, format, applies to is nothing but like giving a multi-dimension to the module, like taking a reference from that list to this module. In this way, like we can use like many things to add in the module. In this way, the blueprint view will work. Next is like adding a formula. Adding a formula in the sense like if we need to give a reference from for one line item, we have to like we have to take a reference from another module, and we have to give an calculation to the source module. So we will use this formula method. We can see here like formula column is present in that blueprint view. So in this case, like initially, like we'll click on the module and we'll open it, and we'll select a particular line item. And in that formula, like we can use in two ways. By clicking on that formula column, or above we have a formula editing bar. In that way, like we can use this formula by giving a reference from one module to another module, or else from the list also we can give a reference by using some like we can use like some particular example by using a time function series, such as like some lookup, like a lead, post, previous. In that case, it is a, like a keyword of time functions, giving like means like calculating a formula in certain way. So we will use this formula bar to make it easier by taking data from module list, or by importing the values. Next is like system module. The system module is mainly used for the using for some lookup lead. In that like time series functions, we'll use this system module for taking a reference. So the system modules will serve as the foundation for model, and it holds the data that we needed to give a reference for a certain source module. So we'll use the system module. Below we can see in system modules, like we oftenly use for time settings, hierarchy details and attributes, mapping dimension into list or modules, like filtering the data, user list, clearing or deleting item from a list. In these For these particular sublists, we'll use the system modules to give an reference for which the source model is needed. In that way, we'll use the system modules for the model. And here is the example that I have shown for the system module. Like initially we have to go to model settings, and we have to create a model regarding we have to click on that insert in modules. After after we click on insert, like we have to give a particular name for that system modules. In this case, like I have given as sys00 time settings. After creating that module, it should be a default we can take as row or pages, in any way we can take. But in this case, like I have taken as a time as a dimension as a default in this case for system module. And I have added like a few line items shown below, and we have to click on OK. By doing this, the module will be created, and the time will be default in this case. Like in detail, I'll show in the workspace at the end of this presentation. Next is like time function. This was the functions like which we use for the formulas. This is the major thing that we can enable to take the time related calculations that we can retrieve the data from the different time periods. In this case, like we have two different categories in the time functions. That is like time series functions and non-time series functions. In this case, in like a time series functions, the line items has an argument for this functions that the source and target line items must use the same time ranges. It should not be different, because if the source should if we take in the source that should be slightly related to the target, then only it will do the further calculation in the like source module. So here is an example that we have used for the time series functions. That is like lag, lead, moving sum, offset, post, previous, and like sum, lookup. There are many more examples for this time series. But as of now, in this case, like I will use sum and lookup to show like how it going to work. And for time series functions, like it is just to read the data from the line item that uses different time ranges. By taking a different time ranges, we have to like link in the source module. So like we'll use regarding these examples, like add month, date, days, month to date, start, year value, or current period. Like we have like many more non-time series functions that is lead to only like reading the data for the time ranges. Like other datas and all we can't use in the non-time series. Next, like copy a module. Like this is the case like where we can see like after creating a module, if we need any like a duplicate module to copy like a previous copy from the previous module, so we can use in this way like copying a module. These are the steps that we can use in the like Anaplan workspace. Excuse me. Like first is select modules in the module setting bar. Next is like by selecting any particular module, and we'll be having an option of copy. By pressing that copy, like it will select a copy module or particular module. Then we have to give an different name from that previous module. By giving that, we can include some saved copy view, like any default views, or else we can give an like module has a duplicate module below that particular module. Then we have to include the cell data in the module to copy like which all cell it should be copied. If we need entire data should be copied, we can give all cell and we can copy it, and by selecting OK it will be created in the module. Sorry. Next is data import method. This is in this we can go through like four methods for importing data in the Anaplan module. Like initially, like we'll use like manual in the sense like we should have any .csv file or .txt file. In that case, like we can import the data through the workspace. Like we'll be having an option import. By using that import, we can upload a new file through that, and we can do mapping in that case, and the data will be executed in the module. Next is like Anaplan Connect. Anaplan Connect means it is a part where if from one module we have to pull the data, so we can use the Anaplan Connect to pull the data from one module to another. In this case, in this Anaplan Connect, like we'll be having while importing, by if we click on import, we'll get an two options where we can upload a new file that will be indicated to that manual import. Whereas one more option is Anaplan Connect model. In that, by selecting that option, we can retrieve the data from one module to another. This way, this Anaplan Connect will be executed. Next is ETL. ETL in the sense extract, transport, transform, load connector. This is an like API tool, which is a connect. It is a connector. By means it will be the platform is another this one. So in this way, like it will be not executed in the workspace where we use this manual and Anaplan Connect. This will be a API tool that we can use in the other platform, but it works as a like it works as like Anaplan workspace itself. And and one like next option is like REST API, this one. So in this way, it allows the Anaplan Connect to build custom data to integrate the platform. Where in this case also, like we can use in the like command prompt by executing the API by using like a Java tool. With that, like we can proceed this API Anaplan client connector. In this way, like this four method is being used in the Anaplan model, whereas like currently we are going to use only this manual and Anaplan Connect as of this Anaplan workspace is permitted. Next is like import data into module. These are the steps where we come across to import the data that CSV file or .txt file is used to import in the module. So initially, like we start from giving start in the grid view, and then we have to like activate the data drop down in the module. After that, we come across the option as import. By selecting that, like if we get a source dialog box and it opens, and there we can see like upload new file. By using that button, like we can confirm the data layout in the preview window and click on next. Then the mapping window will be open. In that mapping, we have to like allot the source to target data, and then we have to run import. In this way, like we can use, or in one more method we can use, but it is a rare thing that we use in by selecting a blueprint view. In that case, like we can import the data, but it will be easy to import while importing the data in the grid view format. Next is like copy down and copy across. In a module, like copying data in the cell across or down, it is a quick way to copy the values from a selected cell to end of the cell. Means in the way like it is a like a time consuming format. By selecting one cell to end to apply to the all the cell should be appear the data values. So we use this copy across or copy down. Means it will be like a vertical or horizontal way to copy this data for each and every cells. These are the two ways. We can. It will be a like a time consuming period to use for the multiple line items. So we use this. First is like to copy data across. So in this case, by selecting by selecting across for this columns for each cell, by clicking the icon on the top right toolbar, like we can edit the selected toolbar, and like we can enter the data for a particular cell, and we have to drag to the across, and we have to drop the menu. Then we'll get the data will be applied for each and every cell. As same like this we have to do for vertically, then it will be copied for the each and every rows, and it will be displayed in the cells that the data should be displayed. This way the copy data down will be acted in the module. Whereas next is like a summary method. The summary method is defined like how the total child cell is calculated into one value. This is like by giving an a summary method. In that it will be contained like some average, maximum, minimum, like in many options. In that case, it takes default as a sum, and it will be calculated each and every cell, and you will get a total at the end of the cell, end of the column. So in that case, this summary method will act as a one of the form to the module that the data will be calculated in giving for one or two cells. So it will take as default to the each and every cell, and it will be displayed in the different formats. In this way, the summary method will add to the module. Next is sum function. Sum function is nothing but it is an aggregation function that from like one cell to another, it should be done with the sum function that will return a numeric result. So we'll use this sum, and this will be used for the references of in the formula. Like by giving this reference for from one module to another module, it will be calculated and it will be displayed in the source module. So in this way, like we use the sum to get the aggregation function of each and every line item. So we'll use this sum aggregation function in the source module for the reference. And here is a syntax how we can use in the module by giving this value to the sum, and we have to map the target modules by giving the keyword as sum. Then if we calculate this, then the data will be defaultly calculated and it will be displayed in the source module. Next is like it is an example that I have shown here. This will be the source module and this will be target. From this source module, I have taken as a line item as a revenue. From this, I'm just giving an add up of the target of size detail, and I'll give a keyword as a sum. So in this case, from the source to target, it will get a sum up the values, and it will give an value to the particular module which I have I want to change in that. So in this way, this sum function will be used in the module. But I'll show the practical way like how the sum function will be sum function will get work in the workspace as a practical. At this at the end of this presentation, I'll just show the working of this sum function and lookup. Next is lookup function. Here the lookup function is nothing but it will look up the values in the source module or list, and it displays the value in the target module. So this function will returns a result of the same data as the source argument, but it just given reference to that target module, and it will given same value means it returns the same argument in the source module. So here is the syntax we use values to lookup, and by using that keyword lookup, I'll give the target modules to get to work the particular functions to the source module. So in this way, the lookup function going to work. And here is an example that I have taken. From module price growth, I have taken a unit price as a line item. From this line item, I am going to give an lookup for the system module, and this is an copied module that from source I have copied to the this one viewed default viewed. So in this case, I am giving the lookup for system module as code and product family. It will just given means it returns a value of argument to the price growing rate staging. So in this way, I'll show the hint that how it works the lookup function. Next is pivot. Pivot is nothing but we can access all the list and rollups that we relevantly used in the modules. And in pivot, we can enable the dimensions such as list, line item, time and versions. Where the pivot, we can give a different layouts by changing the dimensions from pages or columns and rows. In this way, we can present a different layout in the module. And even in the UX page and classic dashboard too, we can use a different layout to the customers, and we can present the different layouts to the client. Is creating a functional area. This is we have to after creating a module, we have to mention a functional area. We can give an recognition for each and every module, which functional area will be defined. So these are the steps to create the functional areas. First, we have to select a module in the model setting bar. Then we have to select the functional area tab. In that tab, we'll get the option as insert. Then we have to insert an means suitable functional area name. Then we have to create an extra functional area by typing each and every line item, or else we can give a drop down by clicking on the drop down. We can select a particular functional area for each line item, and there will be a limit in this 60 characters. Above this 60 characters, it won't accept the functional areas. Then we have to select the OK. Then it will be created the functional area. In the after that, we have to give a reference in the modules by a drop down by clicking the drop down functions in that, and we have to select particular functional area, and we can give a reference for each and every module. So next, this is the way I said before, means assigning a functional area for each and every module. And these are the process that we use for the assigning process. First, we have to select the module in the model setting bar. Then we have to select a module that we have to we wish to assign a functional area, and we have to select a drop down, and there it will be displayed a functional area for each and every modules, and we have to select that functional area, and it will be chosen for the for each module that contain we have created. So in this way, these functional areas will work in the modules, and we can easily recognize the modules for which we have given the functional areas, and we can work on those modules. Yeah, I have concluding this topics, I have covered all the topics in this, and practically I will show the demo in the workspace. Now I'll show the working of these 5 topics in this, how we can demonstrate in the workspace. Practically I'll give a demo in Anaplan. First, I have taken as example in presentation that system module. So now I'll just work it on that system modules. Create for time purpose because we have to give an reference for this. So I'll just create a time system module. I'm just creating a few of the line items to show like how it works in the system module. Current module, so current period. Next is current period. Start. Next actual. Forecast period. I'll create forecast month. It just displays only the month-wise data. So after creating the line items, like we can give OK. So we can see now the system 00 time setting has been created. Now we have to give like we have to change the format for this. This is like month only, so it should be like because this is a time, so like I'll just create for this as a date. This is current period in the sense like I'll just change the format as a boolean because I should get an true false statement. I'll just copy. Okay. For all rest of this, I'll just do it as boolean. Now we can see the changes like after changing the format, we can just look into this in the grid view, how the changes has been taken. So after this, now I'll just use the formulas and I'll show like how the reference is being taken. So initially, like for first day of month means I'll just give like start as a this one non-time series function I'm using for the system module. So in this, it is like first day in the sense it is like start. So like have just used now we can see the date has been displayed for each and every this one time settings. So for rest also like I'll just give same like this. So and okay, sorry. For current period, yeah, for current period, I'll just give current period start. Open close parenthesis. It should be equal to this first day of time. So I'm just giving us it is equal to start. Okay, this is also correct. So now I'll give the reference of this current period start. So next is for actual period. So we have to take a link from that version. So actual period. So I'll just give start from the start date. I'll just give it should be greater than current period of start. Like this we can give the reference for the above line item. So next is for forecast period. Forecast period is nothing but okay. Start forecast period in a sense I should give an greater than equal to for the current period. Next is I want to display only the month. So in this case, like I use um, I use the same formula as the above forecast period. Yeah, now the formula has been taken. Now we can see the difference than previous for now, like how it has been working after change after giving the formula. So in this way, like for each and every module, we can work on by giving like this. So next, I'm going to create like a few more system modules. Zero one, and this will be like time settings by year. Sorry, one time setting by year. Okay. Next, I'm going to select the dimensions. This time will be default for the system modules, as I said in that presentation. So now I'll just create a line items. Years only, because I am going to present only the years. So in that case, I'll just take the years as a line item and then forecast year. Okay. Yeah, now I'll just change the format as Boolean. Okay, and I'll just change the time scale because I have given as a year, so I have to change it to year. Okay. Now I'll just I'll show the preview in the grid view. Like I'll get in this way by changing the time range as a year. So for this, I'll just apply the formula. for year only, I'll just give it as true. If it is in the year this one format, so it will be true or else false. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Next, I'll just give the forecast here by taking the by taking in sys 00. It is a like a direct reference by just by taking this forecast period. I'll just show like how by double click on the formula editing bar and just open this is 00. Like we can see here, this is the like from sys 01 time settings, this formula editing bar. After this, like in these line items, like which we need to give as reference for this system 01 module, we can just directly give a link by giving a click on this forecast. It will automatically it will take here the formula, and like if we give OK in this, it will just apply here. This is the advantage in the Anaplan. Like in which model we have to give a direct reference, like by editing this formula bar, and like we can move it to that module and we can select there in that line item. So this will be an advantage for creation, like using in this workspace. Next, we can see in the grid view. We can see here, like if this forecast where like it will get a false, means it will get a true year in the physical year, then it will be displayed here like as a true rather than false. Like I'll show how it will work. So like I'll just change the summary method as any. So like we can see like here we can find the physical year has been checked in. So in that in physical year 22 also it has been checked in, because I have changed the summary method as any. So in this case we can see for all the 3 years as a checked in. So here we can see previously it was and false, now it has been true. In this way, like we can access this system modules by giving this direct reference to the module to module. So next, I'll just create a few more system modules. Systems. Region and details. In this case, like from the list, I'm going to taking the module. So I'll just take a dimensions for this. For G region detail, I'll just place this dimension in the pages. Next, I'll just type as line item code. Now it has been created for this. Now I'll just change a few things in the blueprint view. I've changed this to text, because in previously like I have created this one G1 region in the text format. So I'll just change it to text view. This time scale I'm changing to non-applicable, because from the list I'm going to give a reference. So in that case, we no need of this time settings. So I just changed. So now I'll show, this is the one of the layout, like have given, I can give one more layout by using this pivot dialog box. From this G1 region, I'll just change the dimension to the column and I'll just represent in this view. So we can see this one more view. Like this, we can change in multiple views to show to bring the like exact the client will prefer it. So next, I'll just give the formula and I'll just retrieve the data from the list. By using these keywords, I'll just retrieve the data. Yeah, now we can see this. The data has been retrieved from this G1 region. Means this code has been retrieved in system 02. So in this way, it will be added in this module. Yeah, that's it. Now I'll just create three more system modules. So here I'll just take it G2 country. As of now, I don't need of time. So I'll just remove the time dimension. And now I'll just create a line item. Okay. Now I'll just change the format for this three line item. Initially, I'll give just text. For next, I'll give it as a list. For this region, I'll just give a reference of G1 region. Then next, for country only, I'll just give it as Boolean to show whether it is true or false. So now you can see the format here. It has been changed after changing that format. So now I'll just use a formula for this code. Okay, sorry, I just didn't give the single quotes. We give any this one spelling mistakes or any missing punctuations, it will show the by popping up the window, it will give an error. In this way, like it will be region is an like a parent hierarchy. So I'll just give a reference of parent. Next, I'll just give whether it is true or not. Now we can see the changes like we got after retrieval means after taking the data from the list. Similarly, I'll just create so in this case I'll just remove the time and I'll just take G3 location and I'll just include line items. Okay. Now I'll just change the format. This will be text. This will be the list. And this will be the list and I'll just give the region. Like after giving that, like we can see this drop down thing after selecting that format. Like we have to select for each and every cells. So in the like it will take more time. So in that case, like we'll just use the formulas for to applicable to each and every cell. So for code, I'll just give line item of G3. So next for country. Next. Okay. Now we can see the changes in this module. Like by selecting each and every cell, by applying that formula, it pulls the data from the list for every, like each and every cell like we have displayed in this module. So now I'll just create two more module. Family detail. So in this, I'll just create a line item called code, and I'll just remove this time, and I'll just give this product P1 family. Now we can say this only the product families as a dimension. Like here, I'll just change the format as text. So after this, I'll just apply the formula to this. Yeah, like if we change the name, like it will give an error, like the item function should be an hierarchy. Means it should be similar. Because here like I have taken as dimension as families, so I have to give as families. Now we can see the code of that product family. Zero six that detail. Here I'll take the dimension as P2. Now I'll change the format as a text. Product family as a list, and I'll just give P1 family, product family. Next for size, I'll just give a line item as size. So now we'll just apply the formula to the now we'll just apply the formula to this. For this last line item, just I'll import the .csv file. I'll just take the value by presenting in this reference. Code of item cells. Else I'll just give a reference to this modules. In this module, I'll just take pay to product and G3 location as a dimension, and I'll just create two line item. Cost. This I'll just represent in the format of in currency like percentage. So I'll just change the format. Like here I'll just give currency and I'll just keep it as USD, and I'll just give a decimal point as 2. Same way like I'll use for this line item. After this, like I'll just import the file. You can see here it will be displayed in the dollars. Now we can see for these two line items, it will be displayed in the dollars. So now I'll just import the file. Now I'll just change this default file. So now I'll just map this price book. So first I'll just give location code. Sorry, I'll just give us product code. For this, I'll just give location code, and this has been column headers. So we have to check it should be mapped with this source and target. Once we have to check like each and every this one should be mapped. Yeah, now I'll just run this. Yeah, it has been updated. Now the values will be displayed here. Now we can see the data has been displayed for each and every location. Similarly, I'll just create uh, two more. Volume input. Here I'll just take G3 location and I'll keep this time as a default and P2 product. Here I'll just create only volume. For this, I won't change any format or anything. I'll just keep as it is and I'll just import. Now, like we'll change it to admins only. And I'll just change this header and first data row. Okay, now we'll just map it as for J3 location code. Product is product and time is like fixed time. And this for column headers. So I'll just do it vice versa because we have only one line item. Okay. Now we'll just match it. It is in the year and month. So I'll just give this format. Here it has been paired. In product also it has been paired. And here I'll just select volume. Now it has been created. And we can see the values here. So now I'll just create one more line item. Margin calculation, and I'll just take a dimension as G3 location and P2. And I'll just create a line item called revenue. margin and margin percentage. In this case, like I'll change time to as month. Okay, it is in month. So I'll just change the format of each line item. I'll just keep it in currency and the decimal point as 2. For this, I'll just change it to percentage and I'll just keep it as decimal point as 2. Now we can see the changes here. So after changing the format, I'll just insert one more module. Let's 0. Here I'll just change the time scale as here. And I'll just change it to percentage. Now we can see only the year for this line items. Now I'll just add a reference for this module. So by taking from rev02 as a volume input, and I'll just multiply with rev01 unit price. Okay, sorry, like I am not seeing this. Just paste it to revenue. Sorry. Same for cost of sale, like by selecting volume and multiply with cost. So now I'll just take a difference of this revenue. Revenue minus cost of sale. Same way for margin, I'll just take revenue divided by cost of sale. Sorry, now we can see the data like it has been pulled from each module. Now I'll just copy this Rev04 module to like copying the means taking a duplicate module from this Rev04, and I'll just show how it works from one module to another. In model settings, like first we have to click on this module, and here we'll have a copy. Here, sorry, first we have to select a module, and we have to click on this copy, and I'll just change the name as Rev05 staging. So now it has been copied from this module to this. Now we'll just look into this, like how we have to give a reference for Rev04 to Rev05. So here I'll just use a lookup function for this. Like first we have to take Rev04 and just select as unit price. Then I'll just give lookup, and I'll just open sys06 for taking a reference. Yeah, here like we can take this product family. Here I'll give lookup to this, and I'll just select sys04. In this I'll just select a country. Okay. Just give the dimension to this. Like B2 and G2 country. Now I'll just do the same process of this copying the module. Now I'll just give a reference from this Rev 04. I'll just take this price growth and I'll just give a lookup function to this lookup of 04. I'll just select a country and I'll give one more lookup to 606 for product family. Now I'll just show the conditions of this, like how the conditional format will be used in the formula. If by giving if else condition, I'll just select forecast period, and then year value, value from rev 05, unit price. And else I'll just give it as 0. System module forecast period. Then here value of rev 05 unit price, and it's 0. System 00 time settings. And that I'll just select forecast. Rev 05 unit price. And just change the margin percentage to percentage. Now I'll just take this revenue and I'll just take a keyword as sum of C06. Yeah, like in this way, the sum keyword will be performed in this module. So now we can see like for example, I'll just take the size for this. Like I have just taken for 5 columns. Now, like we can just verify the values here. After selecting that size, it will take a sum up of from this source, means this cost of sale, and just it will take a target of from that size, and it will be get sum up with this, and it will just display in the source module. In this way, like we can use this some lookup functions. Now we got the value for revenue cost of sale. In this way, the formulas of key functions will affect on this line items. After applying, it will get a sum up from this margin calculation to product details. From this margin calculation, it will take a value from this revenue and it will be sum up with this size and will get a actual value in this like time period for this revenue. In this way, this functions will be used in this module. And like I'll just show how the functional area will be created. Like in this I just created like system modules. System modules in the sense I'll just create as admin, and for other two modules I'll just create as reporting and revenue. In this way, like we have to create the functional area. If it is necessary, we can add these categories, or else like we can leave it as usual. So now in this, like we can, it will come as a drop down. So now we can just select it. Like copy this and just we can paste it. Like for each and every module, like if we take as drop down, means it will take a time. So I'll just copying and I'll just paste this. And now this I'll just give it as revenue. In this way, the functional area adds in the modules. And for this, I'll just give for the if we have like this type of modules, we can't segregate like as particular as things. So I'll just create a few dummy modules to identify easily. Means we should not give any dimensions, just we have to create a module name by giving a name. Now I have just created a 3 dummy modules. Now I'll just segregate and means I'll just do reorder. This reorder in the sense we can make it in the ascending format. Now I'll just bring this system module to here and revenue here and reporting. Now I'll just apply. In this way, the reorder will be taken. Now, like we can easily find under reporting, we have one module. Under revenue, we have like 5 modules, 5 to 6 modules. Under system, like we have this 7 modules. In this way, like we'll create and we'll just do the reorder thing. This way the module will be worked as I have covered all the 5 chapters in this workspace. Like what I have covered in the PPT, I have shown the demo in this workspace. Ashweta. Like I have covered all the topics and I have given a demo in the workspace too. Shweta, are you there?
Yes, Pooja. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. You can leave the meeting now.
Yeah, Shweta.